On an average sunny afternoon in Greenpoint, WNYC Transmitter Park is filled with post-brunch dog walkers and moms with baby strollers lounging on the grass or river rocks. They laugh and talk about their latest relationships or career changes along the bank of the East River, unaware of the neighborhood grandmas who stopped occupying nearby benches, or the sleek apartments that replaced old townhouses. I grew up in Greenpoint and was around 7 when I first came to Transmitter Park, excited by my proximity to the river and, at the time, unguarded rocks. Aside from the empty, rusty warehouses by the water, my view of the river was mostly unobstructed. As I would get closer to the riverbank and city skyline on my way to the park, I looked forward to descending down the rocky inlet and climbing under the bridge, getting close enough to touch the water. I watched from the playground as neighbors who once danced to music on their fire escape weren't there a few months later. When their building disappeared and started being replaced by a concrete foundation, I can't say I was surprised. Since then, more bricks have been replaced by concrete and glass. Over my meager 17 years, I've watched as my neighborhood became gentrified, with some newcomers attracted to this nightlife hotspot and some replacing my former neighbors. I used to hear Polish at every street corner and every store, but now I'm familiar with the "yeah, I just moved here" vocal fry. I don't feel welcomed as part of Greenpoint's history, a relic of the past, a rare born and raised New Yorker. Though I appreciate the new businesses and people who get to experience my neighborhood, I mourn for the local Polish bakeries replaced by coffee shops serving lavender lattes. I don't want to blend in with those spending a day here to explore, yet I feel as if they're the majority now. Within a blink of an eye, the colorful, modest, aluminum-siding clapboard townhouses became few and far between, replaced by large window-colored silver buildings, balconies instead of bricks, and glass doors instead of matching aluminum siding and awnings. When applying to college, I was convinced that I'd stay in Greenpoint for a while. I thought I would commute and discover the bars and restaurants that everyone stood on lines for. But somewhere along the way, I realized that just like the townhouses and old bakeries, I no longer feel at home. There's now more people on the G, in McCarran Park, and in all the new vintage stores. This fall, I'm going to college in New Haven, and although I'll miss my home, I feel I'm being forced out. It's almost easier to say goodbye to my neighborhood when I barely recognize it. Greenpoint's changed right before my eyes, and I've just now noticed. My neighbors moved, some without saying goodbye, and fewer people stopped to talk to my mom when coming home from work. My view of the East River waterfront is now obstructed by all the concrete, tall, glass buildings. But I guess, just as the water's tides ebb and flow, time passes, and people move on.